Hello and welcome to Monday's programme.
Coming up tonight between now and 6:30.
Good evening. Ambitious plans for Cornwall to join the space age have been unveiled today. In just 3 years, there are plans to launch commercial satellites from the runway at Newquay Airport.
But there is a major hurdle. At the moment, there's no funding to pay for the multi-million-pound project. Our reporter Steve Hardy is at Newquay Airport for us. Steve, will this ever take off? Well, let's move on to other news now. Police have been given more time to question 3 men on suspicion of murder after a man was stabbed to death at a block of flats in Yeovil.
Motorcyclist died this weekend after crashing during a charity ride in aid of the Devon Air ambulance.
A paraglider had a lucky escape yesterday evening.
More volunteers are needed to help restore Somerset's historic finger post signs.
Next tonight, young people living in parts of our region say they face a stark choice between living in squalor or being forced to move away from where they grew up because of a chronic lack of affordable housing.
The Rain Peninsula in Cornwall is very popular with holidaymakers, but some locals feel that the growing market for second homes is leading to an exodus of a whole generation.
Well,
Now you're watching ITV News here in the West Country this Monday evening, and there is still plenty more to come on the programme before 6:30.
And after us, the ITV News continues with the national and international stories at 6:30. Charlene White has the details.
But next on our programme, the MP for North Cornwall has resigned as an assistant to Treasury ministers because he disagrees with Theresa May's Brexit proposals.
Scott Mann wrote to the Prime Minister saying that many of his constituents voted to leave the EU and he's not prepared to back a watered-down Brexit. Well, for more on this, we can cross to Westminster and our political correspondent David Wood. So, David, just how big a blow is this to Mrs May? Now, it's that time of year again when Prince Charles and Camilla pay their annual visit to Cornwall. The Duke and Duchess of Cornwall are on a 3-day tour of the West Country, promoting local businesses and environmental issues, as well as meeting residents.
Well, Grace Pascoe is in St Agnes for us this evening, one of the stops on that tour. The sunshine there as always, Grace. What have the royal couple been up to today then?
Well, first off, I think it's clear that the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall love coming to this part of the world. Only last month they were here for the Royal Cornwall Show, and back in March, Prince Charles visited both Truro and Newquay. But this is their annual tour of the region, and their day started in Foy, from where Bob Cruz sent this report.
A belly board for Charles and a job offer for Camilla. You couldn't make that up, could you? It looks like a good trip so far, Grace, but what's next for the royal couple?
Yes, well, so far so good, but there's still many more places to visit. Tomorrow they're off to the Isles of Scilly, where first they'll head to St Mary's and they'll meet some local sailors and local producers there. Then they'll head to St Martin's, where Prince Charles is going to find out a bit about Smart Islands. That's a project to get the islands more sustainable, whilst the Duchess will go to Scilly Flowers. Then it's on to St Tudy on Wednesday and Honiton before the trip ends, and they'll be hoping for more of this glorious sunshine.
I bet. OK, Grace, thanks very much.
And we'll be finding out about the glorious sunshine in a moment because it is weather time. Before we bring you the forecast, we should tell you about our new weather presenter, Charlie. It is his first day. We'll have more from Charlie in a moment.
We will, but first, a little earlier, I found out more about Charlie. Charlie, are you in there?
Hello.
Just relaxing there?
A little bit.
How are you feeling? It's your first day.
I feel slightly nervous, but I
Okay.
think that's probably quite natural. But I'm really excited.
Good.
Of
And
course
this
I am.
is your first live telly, is that right?
More or less. In this capacity, Monday to Friday, yes, it will be.
Right. OK. Well, you've got to be serious now, you know. This is ITV News.
I know. Don't worry
Got
about
to
it.
perform,
That's
got to be
fine.
ready. OK, let's go and have a look in the newsroom and have a look where Charlie is going to be sitting, bit of behind-the-scenes look. So your desk is over here, isn't it?
Yes.
And what are you doing here?
Well, this is where I pull all the weather maps together, and I call the Met Office for the latest forecast, see if there are any warnings, get the story straight in my mind, put it all together, and then go and record it.
OK, so we know what the weather's up to.
That's right.
And you've been in the West Country for a while.
I have 10 years, would you believe?
You obviously like it then.
I love it. It's yeah.
What's good about being a weather forecaster in the West Country?
It's a good-looking place to begin with, so that
True.
always helps. You've got the coast, you've got the hills, the moors. There's a load of ingredients that just really help to tell the story.
OK, let's head into the gallery now. So if you take a look in here, we're taking you on a bit of a behind-the-scenes tour. This is where all the technical stuff happens. And then if we continue into the studio, this is where Charlie will be based an awful lot.
Yeah,
in
a lot
front
of
of the
time.
green screen. So what you see on TV isn't exactly what it looks like in the studio. This is the green screen, and then the weather map is projected behind us, isn't it?
That's right. So yeah, this looks quite bare at the moment, doesn't tell a great story, let's face it. But yeah, through the magic of cameras, the two are sort of superimposed and you get that map behind you.
I never get bored of this. The fact that it's a green screen, it's so exciting.
That's something, I tell you what, it's difficult, isn't it? Trying to focus and point to things that don't exist in...
Well, I've never done it. So you're pointing this way and pointing at the weather map.
So you've got to go straight out.
Okay.
Yeah, too far and your hand just gets minuscule and it just looks weird.
Okay, good job I'm not a weather presenter. Now, you are a meteorologist. You've been doing this for a while, haven't you? You know all about the weather.
That's what I have been doing for the last 10 years. Fully trained, self-confessed weather geek.
I follow you on Instagram. There are a lot of pictures of clouds, sun, flowers.
Some flowers on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other side is I'm a very amateur photographer, but the two lend themselves really well. So there are a lot of clouds on there, some time lapses, a lot of weathery type stuff.
So what can we expect from you when you're forecasting our weather? You're not just kind of telling us what the weather's going to be like.
That's right. So what I'd like to do is bring a bit of the science behind it into what I'm doing here and online, so that when you look up and you see the sky, it's not just, oh, that's nice. You look up and think, that's nice, and I know it means X, Y, and Z. So almost just make you a bit more of a part of the weather, the whole weather process yourself.
Okay, well, better let you get on with
Let's
it then.
do some weather.
Okay. I loved standing in front of the green screen. That was so exciting.
I'm glad Charlie got the job over you, because hopefully Charlie's going to be doing a better job. It's been another lovely, pretty much lovely day across most of the region, hasn't it, Charlie?
We have got...
Thanks very much indeed. Already endearing yourself to hay fever sufferers. Thanks very much. Now, before we go, let's remind you of the top story here in the West Country this Monday evening, and ambitious plans for Cornwall to join the space. Brings us to the close of this evening's programme, so it's goodbye from all of us. I'll have the late news for you at 10:30.
But now I'll hand you to Charlene White as the ITV News continues. From all of us here, enjoy your evening, and we'll see you tomorrow at 6. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.